So welcome back to Rufus Duck Adventures. Carrying on in my backpacking series of tents. Another vango today. I'm just in a little, in a beautiful little part of the world. Sheep are bearing, and I am doing my vango Banshee 200 today. Slightly older model. I think this one's circa 2012, and it comes in a you know, the newer ones have like an open top bag. This has like a strap on the top, and is entrance, you access it from the end. But basically the tents are very similar to, they haven't changed much over the years. A few little alterations, but the basic tent is the same as you can buy today. Anyway, so this one comes in, I haven't got my weighing scales with me today, but I know this one comes in at almost bang on 2 kilograms, maybe just a slight bit over. I think it's an extra 50 grams over the way I've got it set up at the moment. Anyway, so I'll get this out of the bag and we'll take a look at it. Okay, so getting the bag open, inside you can see we have these standard vango shepherd's hook pegs. I think there are 12 of these weigh about 16 grams aluminium, and then the 2 poles, which are both color coordinated, as you can see, a black one and like a green one. And yeah, and then actually you can see on the material it's got this lovely kind of like hexagon pattern across it. I don't know what benefit that has, but it's nice. Anyway, I'll put this tent up now. So there we go, there's my Banshee all set up. This one has the hood on here and a vent up underneath it, a double guy rope running into a single one, and then the high level vent up here. Nice little ventilated area up there. More recent versions have done away with that, and I've put a little vent here on both sides, and then there are some versions that have guy ropes coming off the poles and like a hooded vent there. They all work, they're all the same, they all roughly weigh the same amount. One of the things I do see an advantage with this is because this is pulled this way and this is pulled that way, what it does is it tautens up this top section here. And one of the things with all kind of tunnel tents is they always have to be careful about rain landing up on the top and puddling. Now, as you can see, this is sloped, so it's not too much of a problem, but you can see how there could potentially, if this was slack and droopy here, could be a puddle point there. So these guy lines pulling in both these directions help mitigate that, and you'll see that on tunnel tents all over the place. They're trying to stop that water puddling on the top. I have changed out a couple of these guy lines. The original ones were orange, they're a bit heavy. I've replaced them with some of these nice yellow ones that are a bit lighter, and I have them set onto a single peg. It comes with 2 pegs. You can put these onto 2 pegs, but 1 peg works just as good. And same again at the rear. I have 2 lines coming to a single peg, and my vent works just as well at the top. I mean, I could pull it in this direction, I suppose, but it's not going to make a huge amount of difference doing that. This particular model, as you can see, is straight backed. I think the current ones have like have an extra peg here and a slightly diamond, and then the guy line has a point here that pulls this out. This is quite a large piece of material, and if the wind's blowing in this direction, that can sag in. So they've tried to mitigate that with more recent models, but I mean, I would probably set this particular tent prevailing wind into the foot, not least that I'd rather have the wind blowing on my feet than on my head. But yeah, so yeah, this particular one only has a single door. Again, it's an older model, so the current one has 2 doors. This only has a single door on it. And but other than that, the dimensions inside, lengthwise and height are all exactly the same. So if you're wondering whether a Banshee 200 will fit you or not, this review of this tent is still relevant to the current one. Yeah, So I'll open up the tent and we'll have a look inside. Okay, let's just go down the zip. Nice strong Velcro and a loop there. This would have a peg in it, and you can also peg this out if you wanted to, but these don't tend to creep. One Velcro there, and as you can see, top zipped. So this little canopy here will actually work as a little cowl. You can prop that open if need be, and let a bit of airflow through there. So you've got effectively 3 vents if you want to leave that open, and it's a little peeky out hole in the morning. So that will go up there, and then this will tie back onto a standard tie with a bungee, which is the ones I like. I'll just do that now, and then we'll go and have a look inside. So there we are, tent up. I like this system because if you have any rain running down here, it either gets caught by that and goes that way, or gets caught by that and the door and runs that way. And as you can see, and I'm lining myself up, there really isn't much projection here if you're in a tent. It's all covered, even if you get caught in a bit of rain with this open. So there's the vestibule. As you can see, it's not massive, but it's sufficient. I mean, 200, 400 mil across there, 100 mil at the back, probably about 800 mil long. Big enough to get a rucksack in, no doubt about it. You know, you turn your rucksack on its edge, push it in there, it works a treat. And you put your boots down in this end here, cooking equipment just there, and then your access is in here. So as you can see, classic green and orange vango. I think they're all like that. Polyester ground sheet, nice and tough and strong. Polyester, breathable polyester inner with plenty of mesh, and obviously this door, as you can see, I've already got it tied up, ties up on 2 little loops up the ways. So one big long zip that runs all the way up to there, and it is double zipped. It is actually double zipped. So yeah, that's good. And then into the tent we have 2 pockets here, 2 pockets here, and as you can see, this will be rectangle, so it's a little bit wider in this point. Mine doesn't have the second door. And then lots of mesh up here, and then as you can see, there's the mesh, the vent that leads to the outside, and those are the 2 clips for the TBS system, which will come off this strap here up and click into there. Just toggle into parachute clip into there. I'll do that in a minute. And the other one currently is in that little pocket that comes up. Tricky. Comes up through this point, and then up to the clip at the top. Turning round. Right then, so I'm in the tent nicely. I can sit up. I'm 5'10". I'm sitting up in the apex. My head's touching a little bit, but it's not so bad. I can move if I lie down. So my head is here in the apex, and I can push my head all the way to the left and to the right. But as soon as I kind of go that way or that way, I'm touching material. So you can move your head basically left and right, not so much forwards and backwards. But it's not too bad. Looking down at my feet, so looking down at my feet, obviously I've got my boots on. Feet are not on a mat. If my feet are on a mat, they'll be probably just about here. Just enough room for your feet to go in without touching the inner tent too much, and certainly not going through and touching the outer tent. That outer tent is lifted up quite a long way from that. That's good. You get to see that mesh a little bit better. Now, nice big breathable mesh everywhere. So this tent, if I just go back around this way, this tent is 1.2 meters wide by 1 meter wide at the head, and about 900, just under 1 meter wide. The tape, you see there's a slight taper there, and then back round again. It's a 200 tent. Could you get 2 people in it? Absolutely you can. You can get 2 people in it. Would you be comfortable? That's another question. The thing is, with all of these, a lot of these 2-man tents is you only have one vestibule, which means you really only have space for one person's equipment. If you're backpacking, your other person will be tucked up into here with the head over here, the back into there, and then you'll be fighting for foot space down the bottom here. There is no extra room for equipment. So even though it's a 200 tent, it's supposed to be a 2-man in emergency, yes, but in reality much better suited as a 1-man tent. And because of that extra space, you can put all your kit in there and sort your bags out, your equipment out, and it makes it great. Makes it a lovely 2-man tent, a 1-man tent. At 2 kilograms, that's not too heavy at all. Not too heavy by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, loads of space above, between the tent and the fly in the back of here. Now, you keen-eyed amongst you might have seen a little addition here. That is a magnet, and it goes round. It's like one of those little rare earth magnets that I put on. And look, there's the other one. And what that's doing is it's just keeping those 2 attached to each other. If I look up there, you see that they touch things together. And what that's doing is it's just giving me a little bit more headroom. If I take that off, that sags a little bit more into your face. So I just put that on there. It weighs very little, and it works. Works just gives you a little bit more headspace just there. And you can, that's a little tip you can use on any tent, anywhere. You know, put these little magnets together, clip them to each other, and they work really well. Right then. So what I didn't say about this tent was how easy it is to put up. I love tunnel tents. They're inherently strong. They're really quick to put up and easy, because you can lay them all, you keep them all laid flat on the ground. You can peg them out, push the poles in while it's all flat, and then you just pull one end and the whole thing stands up beautifully, and you're in. You know, 2 pegs here, 2 pegs there. If it's lashing it down, you can jump in, throw your stuff in it straight away, and then wait for it to calm down, and then go around pegging out the rest. It's so easy and so quick. And taking it down again in the same way, you can just drop all the pegs out, drop it all down. This inner can stay attached to the outer at all times. You can take it apart if you want to. You can take that inner out. It all comes on, it all unclips. You know, reach up inside and unclip it for drying, or if it's really wet on the fly sheet in the morning and you think, I'm going to camp in this following night. Yes, you can take that inner out and store that separately from the outer, keeping the inner dry. A great feature. But yeah, one of the advantages is how good they are in the wind, especially the banshee. It sits low. You know, you can see how wind blowing this way, it'll just go up over it really well. Always peg these guy lines out straight, dead in line with the pole, because it strengthens it up in that direction. With the addition of the TBS inside, making another cross in there, that pole there, which is the biggest one, and really is only ever going to flex in that direction, backwards and forwards, is just made so strong. You know, these tents people have been using for years, and up in the hills and in the mountains, and with good reason. They're, you know, I haven't used the word bomb-proof yet so far in any of my reviews. I will on this. It is, if I'm going up on top of Scarfell and I wanted a low-profile, wind-resistant tent, that is what I'm going to take. It would just shed everything, and it just sits nice and low to the ground, hunkered down. It'll do everything you need it to do in that respect. A brilliant tent. So just coming around this side of the markings, Banshee 200, hydrostatic head 500, power light poles, the same. They haven't changed that spec in all the years. It's still a 5,000 hydrostatic head on the new ones. You know, they clip on onto the poles here. They're dead easy to get the poles through, because there's only a short section of pole sleeves, so they just go through dead quick and easy. Yeah, how do I see this tent? Who would I use this tent? How would I use this tent? Mountaintop tent. You know, harsh weather tent where you really need to knuckle down, low profile stealth camping tent. Look at the colour of that in this. That's a great, lovely green. You know, in the woods, staying out of people's view. Yeah, I've got bright yellow guy lines on it, but that's so I don't trip up over them when you're moving around your tent at night. It's anchored down here, there, and everywhere. It's a great machine for you know, wild camping, hilltop camping, woodland camping. You can camp on it on a campsite if you want to. You know, there's enough room in there. You can squeeze 2 people in it if you need to. You know, the 300's better suited for 2 people if you're actively going out to camp with 2 people. But you know, you never know when you get caught out and someone needs a sleeping space because a tent fails. Yes, you can get in that, no problem at all. So I think that'll do for this review. I highly recommend it. It's known as the GOAT of backpacking tents, and for good reason. It's a great option. It goes up quick, it comes down quick, it's strong, it's stable, it's waterproof, it's reliable. There's loads of them around. Parts easy to find. Yeah, and not expensive either. I think they're about £140 at the moment, but you wait on offer and they come down to about 100 quid. You know, it pitches as one. It's not that inner pitch first, fly sheet over the top second, you know, which it can have its advantages, but you know, this is a great thing. Right, well, I think I'll leave that review there. I hope you enjoyed it. I love this tent. So there you go, all wrapped up, back in its bag. Didn't do the usual. 400mm long, 5 to 6 inches round, and yeah, do you know what, I wish I had this tent when I was 18, back when I was first started backpacking. I'm a lot older now. I would have thought this tent would have been like the ultimate tent for me when I was doing all my long walking. It's such a brilliant bit of kit. You feel safe as houses when you're in that. You know it's not going to blow over, and in that colour, I'd have gone anywhere and camped wherever I felt like it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you again soon.